Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you on this winning Wednesday. So, as we open up today, we are extremely grateful and thankful for another opportunity to come before you to experience the glory of God and how things are coming together for our good. They're all working for our good. I'm Michelle and I'm the motivator in today's Michelleology. And I want to give you some energy and expand your consciousness, guide you to the greatest version of you. Begin to move forward. We have been moving backwards so long that once it's time to move forward, we kind of have a fear. But what I want to do is encourage you because there is greater that is present with you. And as you begin to acknowledge that there's greater present with you, then you begin to move in some greater things in your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even financially. So we want to go forth today and begin to say some things that is going to move you forward. Okay, in this winning Wednesday, this wonderful Wednesday, this work it out Wednesday, we want to move forward. So I want to share with you St. John, the first chapter, around about the 14th verse, and it says, "And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, and the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." And so when we talk about the word becoming flesh, we're talking about the spirit that's in you. See, we're trying to make the flesh the word, or we're trying to make the flesh follow the spirit. But what we must do is put the spirit in authority so that the flesh has to follow that. And so as we look at ourselves, we have to be very mindful of the words that come out of our mouths, the words that form in our mind, the words that are in our heart. Words are everywhere and they have power. Because when we talk about speaking, we're not talking about all the time vocally speaking. We're talking about the energy that is on the words that are in your heart, in your mind, in your imagination, in your mouth. All of those places are determining factors for how your life will go. What we don't really understand is that we're powerful and that we attract what we say, what we think, what we do. And so we have to be mindful of that. So in today's Michelleology, the thing that I want for, or I will for you to kind of examine about yourself is hesitate before you speak. That gives you an opportunity to respond and not react. Gives you an opportunity to go inside of your heart and find out what kind of issue or energy is coming from the words that you're about to say. That's why it says be slow to speak, slow to anger. So when we begin to slow down our communication verbally, slow down our communication inwardly, slow down all of those things and begin to be mindful of every word that proceeds out of our mouth, because we are creators. I can't say that enough. And it causes us to create a situation. So the very thing that I was doing this morning, right before I came down, my meditation was this: why is every time an event happens, negative comes up in my mind first? The first thing that pops up is negative. So what I have determined is that in our subconscious stores everything, good, bad, ugly experiences, things people have said to us. And then when we're close to something that resembles that's in our subconscious, it comes up. So I recognize for all these years, and this was a revelation, I have been living based on negative thoughts. Yes, there were some good thoughts, but the negative was first. So I have to return to my first love, which is life, which is good, which is love. And I have to call those things. I have to call those things up first and be restoring myself back to my original intent, my original purpose. Because repent just means return back to your original state of being before you were in your mother's womb, which is interpreted as the matrix, and you begin to be conditioned to another way of doing things. And the government was trying to make us forget that we forgot who we were. And so as they govern your mental, as you allow people to govern your mental, as you allow the society to govern your mental, you move further away from the word that was given to you as a seed. Before you was in your mother's womb, God knew you. In knowing, it is sometimes a sexual term, but it's more of an intimacy term. So God knew you. He supplied you in your seed with everything that you would need in order to operate in this journey in the flesh. And so when we recognize that that word that was given to us, this is a spiritual matter. It has nothing to do with mankind of flesh. I know we're making it about color, we're making it about race, we're making it about politics, we're making it about everything than what it truly is. And it truly is a spiritual battle. The battle is not with other people. The battle is with maintaining your own state of being, or your highest version of you, or your purpose, or your destiny. That's where the fight is. But the more you feed the spirit, the lesser the fight is intensified, because you know, and anything that you know, you can't unknow, and you're not just believing. So in today's Michelleology, I want to challenge you, or I will to challenge you, that you examine every word that comes out of your mouth. Every word. Well, really in your mind, pictures come first, and then you apply words. In your heart, I want you to examine all of that. As you begin to examine that, you will see a drastic change, a 360-degree turn in how you deal with things. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Just this morning before I came on air, my daughter was going somewhere and the car broke down. So the first thing that comes to the mind when the car breaks down, do I have the money to pay for it? What's wrong with it? And you start to get that intensified, scared fear of something negative. So what I did was I applied the word. I began to give God thanks that she didn't break down at night, that she didn't break down far from the house, because she broke down in walking distance. All of those things, if you start to begin to be grateful for those things, it takes your mind and it takes those negative words out of your mind and out of your heart, out of your mouth, out of your thinking, and you begin to see the solution more than the problem. So in today's Michelleology, the word has to become flesh, and not the flesh become the word. Well, remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations today, right now, this second, this moment, and stop duplicating. For we are the greatest version of ourselves, and we must walk in that. So I pray that everything that you do on this wonderful Wednesday, on this winning Wednesday, on this willing to work Wednesday, putting in the work Wednesday, however you title it, remember, create your day. Don't let your day create you. That's what I had to do this morning. I was challenged by my own words. I have to make this day, I have to create this day, regardless to what happens. And remember that all things, not some things, all things work together for your good. May the love, joy, peace, power, and sound-mindedness be your soul food for today. Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you. Have a blessed day.